Viewers, Hassan Nasrallah was a coward, a genocidal maniac who wallowed in the trough of the basest human emotions. It was only fitting that this purveyor of the unconscionable finally met his end, hiding like a quivering sewer rat in a dank burrow hundreds of feet under residential buildings in central Beirut. The Hezbollah had deliberately located its headquarters under dwellings in this crowded part of the city, hoping that the fear of killing innocent civilians above ground would prove to be a sufficient enough deterrent for pursuers. Clearly, Israel was willing to bet on the precision of its firepower to smoke out the Hezbollah without causing too much collateral damage. And when one considers that Israel has had almost a year of practice in Gaza with Hamas similarly sequestered in tunnels, Tel Aviv was right to back itself and its instincts. Hezbollah's big chief was toast before he could say J-Dam. The Israel-fired and American-made bunker busters bore through the civilian citadel above before vaporizing their quarry underground. Iran, Hezbollah's patron, was the first to feel the aftershocks as they rippled through West Asia before buffeting India's Islamized Kashmir Valley. Here, thousands hit the streets, and not just viewers in Srinagar, but also in Lucknow. Politicians pulled out of ongoing electioneering, and even members of parliament, can you believe it, viewers, took to condemning, quote, terror state Israel, unquote. Let me run you through some of these reactions, viewers. First is Aga Rahula, who is the MP, no less, viewers, member of parliament of the National Conference. He says, just like Ismail Haniyeh, Hassan Nasrallah was a great leader and a spirit of resistance. He has been martyred today. We have suffered a huge loss. The Muslim Ummah, if you please, is grieving his death, unquote. Mehbooba Mufti, PDP chief, says, cancelling my campaign in solidarity with martyrs of Lebanon and Gaza, especially Hassan Nasrallah. We stand with the people of Palestine and Lebanon in this hour of immense grief and exemplary resistance, unquote. Aga Syed Muntazir, another PDP leader, someone who is close to Mehbooba Mufti, said, quote, being an interfaith dialogue activist, I have learned how we brought harmony between Muslims and Christians of Lebanon. I pay tribute to martyr Syed Nasrallah and his life of values, unquote. Now, there are some fundamental problems with this sympathy spree. First things first, these voices of support for Nasrallah egregiously normalize anti-Semitic hate. I'm going to take you through the hard facts because on this show, viewers, there is no rhetoric. You can go and watch other channels for that rhetoric. I will give you the hard facts so you get closer to the argument. Remember that, viewers. And this is about empowering you with more knowledge. My first hard fact, viewers. Day after the Hamas massacre on October 7th, Hezbollah began unprovoked attacks against Israel, which forced more than 60,000 Israelis on the northern border to leave their homes, becoming refugees in their own land. The question is, viewers, doesn't this constitute an act of terror? There's another hard fact. Hezbollah has refused to implement UN Security Council Resolution 1701, passed 18 years ago, which requires it to move its forces away from Israel's border. In fact, if anything, Hezbollah has built tunnels to get into Israel. The question is, isn't it clear that its cause is to annihilate the state of Israel? Here's another hard fact, viewers. Hezbollah chief Nasrallah, in his own words, quote, Jews are the source of all corruption and deception, unquote. The Holocaust is a myth, unquote. Viewers, given its genocidal mindset, what would Hezbollah do if they got clear 15-minute window to enter Israel? Just think about that, viewers, on the back of these statements. And I refuse to believe that there are Muslims or there are members of parliament in my country, viewers, in our country, viewers, that can actually endorse Nasrallah's anti-Semitism. Do Muslims in this country hate Jews? Surely not, viewers. Surely not. So I cannot understand why they think this Nasrallah character is some great martyr. Martyr for what? For butchery? For butchery, viewers? And it isn't just his anti-Semitism, but Nasrallah was also an Islamophobe. Yes, viewers, he hated fellow Muslims. In fact, Nasrallah has killed more Muslims than he's killed Jews, 1,000 times more. Again, viewers, hard facts. Never speak without the context of hard facts, viewers. Hezbollah under Nasrallah has killed several thousand Sunnis, Druze and Christians during the Lebanese civil war. And we just had a PDP leader saying, oh, he was building bridges between Christians and Muslims. Viewers, that's the fact. Hard fact 2. Hezbollah under Nasrallah killed fellow Shia Amal group that led to the butchery of thousands of co-religionists. He was killing his own Shias. Here's another hard fact. Hezbollah is responsible for slaughter of Sunnis in Iraq by militarizing Shia groups. Hard fact 4. Hezbollah considers Kurds in Aleppo, which is in Syria, terrorists, and has routinely attacked them, viewers. In short, as you can see, Hezbollah was not just anti-Semitic but Islamophobic too. How then could Indian Muslims, the third largest grouping of Muslims in this world, think he speaks for them? Do Indian Muslims have no problems with a genocidal maniac who kills Shias at the drop of a hat? And also Sunnis more than Shias, viewers. Surely they do, viewers. I don't believe it. As already pointed out, some MPs have called upon Indian Muslims to adopt Nasrallah's cause, quote unquote, not my words, Aga Rahula's words. He says all Indians have an obligation, especially Muslims, to join Nasrallah's cause. Now, what is this cause, viewers? Let's ask ourselves. The cause, viewers, in his words, quote, we see Kashmir issue as part of the global struggle against oppression, unquote. In 2019, he said, we stand in solidarity with the oppressed people of Kashmir, unquote. Oppressed was the words he used. 2019, Kashmir and Palestine are two occupied territories, unquote. In 2020, the Kashmiri people have the right to resist occupation, unquote. These hard facts prompt some questions. Can any Indian member of parliament who takes oath on the Indian constitution ever endorse Nasrallah's anti-India line? And if they do, then why are they not quitting? Why are they living off the Indian taxpayer, of you and I? And if by now a section of Indian Muslims and their political benefactors don't get it, then viewers, it would have to be because, as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar put it, their loyalties to India are questionable. And let me put forth what B.R. Ambedkar had said. And viewers, some of you might find this harsh, but these are his words, not mine. He says, quote, the brotherhood of Islam is not the universal brotherhood of man. It is brotherhood of Muslims for Muslims only. There is a fraternity, but its benefits is confined to those within that corporation. The allegiance of a Muslim does not rest on his domicile in the country which is his, but on the faith to which he belongs. In other words, Islam can never allow a true Muslim to adopt India as his motherland and regard a Hindu as his kith and kin, unquote. I just hope, viewers, that Indian Muslims don't fall for this propaganda and they don't end up proving someone like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar right, viewers. And therefore, I want to ask, why is this homophobic, anti-Semitic and Islamophobic man a martyr for Indian Muslims? Let's open this up, viewers. We have a lot to talk about. Kamru Chaudhary is joining us, Dr. Anand Ranganathan. We have Major Arya with us also, and Monojit Mondol, political analyst. Let me first begin with you, Kamru Chaudhary. Kamru Chaudhary, do you believe that Jews should be killed, annihilated, murdered, kicked out from the river to the sea? They should be killed like rats because there's some subhuman species that is given to lying, given to doing all sorts of other corrupt activities on this earth. And secondly, do you think Sunnis should also be killed, murdered, just because they don't agree with the Shias? And if, sir, the answer is no, then can you tell me why so many Muslims in India are today supporting this Islamophobic, Jew-hating, homophobic cleric, this coward?
Yeah, Rahul, good evening. May I ask you a simple question? Do you remember who was Justice Dalveer Bhandari? Can you just tell me, just 1 second, I will take off yours.
Sir, why don't you build your argument?
No, I'm just asking anybody from the panel.
I don't want to go into dilation. I want you to answer the fundamental question I've asked you. Why would
Rahul,
Indian Muslims, why would Indian parliamentarians, why would they stand up for a homophobic, anti-Semitic, Islamophobe? Simple, straightforward question, sir.
Okay, permit me 2 minutes of your show time. After that, I will not be speaking also. First and foremost, I refer to Justice Dalveer Bhandari. He is an Indian representative judge in the International Court of Justice, which ruled in July 19, 2024, just stopping short of declaring Israel as a terrorist state. And it declared the illegal occupation of Palestine is an illegal occupation by the Zionist forces. That's the International Court of Justice, and India has voted in favor of that resolution. By doing a 32 billion trade with Israel, is India a party to the ongoing genocide of Palestinians in Israel? Question number one. Question number two. In 1978-1982, the Israel occupied southern Lebanon. The formation of Hezbollah was in 1982. Israel occupied Palestine, and the Hamas was born in 1987. Iraq war was not done because of the Muslim, because America wanted to find the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Now come to your basic question out here. Do we support the axis of resistance, as it is called, in which Ali Khamenei, Assad, Hassan Nasrallah, Fali al-Fayyad, or Abdul Malik al-Houthi, or Yahya Sinwar a part of it? No, we do not. But we sympathize, empathize with the Palestinians who have been subjected to massive...
I'm sorry. There are people... No, hang on. No, one second.
No,
look, I'm not getting...
I know you will be agitated.
No, I'm not agitated, Kamru Chaudhary. It's very simple. Hamas has been... No, hang on, just a minute. You come from the Congress party, your Congress tradition, very quickly. I just want to make a small intervention and you can answer me this question because you haven't answered my question in the very beginning. You dilated, you went all around in some labyrinth. Sir, these tunnels are now getting exposed, by the way. Bam phat rahe unme. Don't get lost in tunnels. Answer the question, and I'm asking you simple. Hamas has been put on the war crimes list by the ICJ. Yes. Your party, the Congress party, supports the Hamas's cause, the Palestinian cause. You put the Hamas chief. You put the Hamas chief on a stage in South India. Your ally, India ally. The left put Hamas. The Hamas chief on the stage.
That's a different party.
Oh, what a different party. You're part of the India Alliance, are you not?
The left alliance out here.
You're not part of the India Alliance, sir?
I said...
Are you part of the India Alliance, yes or no?
No.
And when Shashi Tharoor, viewers, this is the Congress party. When Shashi Tharoor objected...
You cannot bring in...
Sir, 1 second.
No, you cannot
when Shashi Tharoor objected to that man being given a stage by the Congress's closest ally in Kerala, he was told to keep quiet. I asked a question, how can Indian Muslims be supporting a homophobic, Islamophobic, anti-Semite? And I got a lecture on geopolitics, viewers. Anyhow, let's open this up. Clearly, viewers, they don't have the hard facts. No, you tell me, should he be supported, yes or no? Should he be held up as a martyr, yes or no?
I will take 20 seconds. We condemn the Hamas invasion of Israel, the attack on innocent civilians in Israel. As well, we condemn the Israeli continued genocide in southern Lebanon now and in the Palestine-occupied territory. That's very simple.
Mr. Kamru Chaudhary, it's not Rahul Shivshankar. It is the National Conference, Congress's ally, that has stopped campaigning for who they call is a martyr. I'm asking you, can a homophobic, and I'm asking you very, very deliberately, can a homophobic, anti-Semite, most importantly, Islamophobe, be a martyr for Muslims in Kashmir, yes or no, sir?
Hassan Nasrallah and Benjamin Netanyahu are both a terrorist according to me.
Viewers, I asked him a simple question. We'll deal with
I did not go
Netanyahu.
to
I'm asking
Israel
you, how
on the
can a
Israeli
homophobic, Islamophobic, Jew-hating, anti-Semite be a martyr for Indian Muslims? I'm not getting an answer. I don't know,
I told
viewers.
you, he's
Maybe
a
I'm missing the point.
terrorist along with
And this
Netanyahu.
is a Congress ally that has raised him to the level of a martyr. Let me open this up. Dr. Ranganathan is here with us. Major General Arya is here with us. Monojit Mondol is also here with us, professor of renowned capacities, always comes researched. But, Doctor, first to you. What do you make of the wishy-washy response from Kamru Chaudhary and the martyrdom status that has been given to this individual, homophobic, Islamophobic, and of course, Jew-hating?
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, there are two issues here, and if I may, one needs to delve into the philosophical and psychological moorings in both. Rahul, there is a parallel world that is inhabited by hundreds of millions of Indians. This is a world where they are not bound by rules, morality, ethics, propriety, by which they want the rest of us to be bound by. Because their morality, their ethics, their conduct is not dictated by man, but by God. The only question that needs answering right now is, would the attendance at these funerals or wakes or requiem marches for the terrorist Nasrallah beat the record for terrorist Yaqub Memon's funeral or terrorist Burhan Wani's funeral? Where are all those who cry over mainstreaming of violence right now? Well, there they are, crying over a terrorist death and paying their respects. Every one of these charlatans has suddenly forgotten that Nasrallah ordered the cold-blooded murder of thousands of innocent men, women and children. But then again, these men, women and children who were murdered by Nasrallah were not innocent, because Jews have been called the worst of creatures, 98.6, 855, condemned to hellfire, 455, 98.6, called apes, 265, 7, 166, led by Satan, 460, eternally cursed, 447, transformed into apes and pigs and slaves of Tagut, 560. So for these people, paying respects to this man, calling him a martyr is not mainstreaming of violence. Of course, it's not mainstreaming of violence when in India, a political party can select as a candidate a man who offered 51 crores to anyone who beheaded Charlie Hebdo journalists, or condole the death of Wani the terrorist, or when an award can be presented to the PFI chief by a vice president, or when Yasin Malik is celebrated by a prime minister, or when thousands collect for funerals of terrorists. But these same people will call out Sadhvi Pragya's remark on Godse as mainstreaming of violence. Rahul, now quickly on the second more important issue. Let us be under no illusion. The situation is intractable. I repeat, intractable. It hasn't changed for 1,000 years. Why on earth would it change in 10? Islam transcends national boundaries. You are a Muslim over and above everything else. Rahul, we have to accept what Ambedkar said, quote, Islam is a closed corporation. The brotherhood of Islam is not the universal brotherhood of man. For those who are outside the corporation, there is nothing but contempt and enmity. The allegiance of a Muslim does not rest on his domicile in the country which is his, but on the faith to which he belongs. Islam can never allow a true Muslim to adopt India as his motherland and regard a Hindu as his kith and kin, unquote. We also have to accept what Rabindranath Tagore said.
There are plenty of martyrs.
One second, Kamru Chaudhary, let him finish. Let Dr. Ranganathan finish, please. Let him finish. Don't jump in. I'll have to lower your fader. Otherwise, please. It's not fair.
But I cannot allow the martyrdom of Muslims to be so.
No, what is the problem?
No, he cannot say the Muslims' elegance does not lie to the motherland.
Sir, it is Dr. Ambedkar he's quoting. He's quoting Dr. Ambedkar. You have a problem, take it up with Dr. Ambedkar. 1 minute, please. Let him finish. Let him finish, sir, please. Let him finish. It's a crime now to even quote Dr. Ambedkar. That's
I'll tell you, but
bizarre.
It goes worse, Rahul, because we not only have to accept Dr. Ambedkar, we have to accept Rabindranath Tagore, what he said. That quote, Islam has distinct enmity against other religions, that it is not satisfied with observing its own religion, but is determined to destroy all other religions. Will Rabindranath Tagore be condemned by this Islamist also? We also have to accept what Karl Marx said, that for Muslims, the world is divided into two nations, Darul Islam and Darul Harb. It is the duty of every Muslim to help convert Darul Harb into Darul Islam.
Ideology cannot be compared to the Islamic ideology. I take strong objection, Rahul. This is not the way. This is not the way.
You are doing such a good job running this thing. Now, this man constantly interrupts. If he has a grouse, let that grouse be with Ambedkar and Tagore. Why is he against me? Why is he so rattled? Can I please finish, Rahul, with your permission?
Yeah, please finish. I'll get him to respond right after you finish. No problem.
Thank you. Let him castigate Tagore if he has the guts. He's a Bengali, he claims so. Look, in wanting to stop Indian Muslims from thinking of Ummah first and India later, we are trying to negate history. But finally, this also needs to be said, Rahul, just 30 seconds. It is not about them. It is about us. And let me explain this. Remember how Indian Muslims united and indulged in Azad Maidan protests and riots to force India to take in Muslim Rohingyas from Myanmar? It resulted in us taking 40,000 Rohingya Muslims. Another matter, that no Indian Muslim ever marched to force Indian government to settle 7 lakh Kashmiri Hindus driven out from their homes. But it's not about them, as I say, it's about us. All Hindus remember Azad Maidan. But do we remember Khamong Sheikh? We don't. I'll tell you what Khamong Sheikh is. It is a place in Myanmar where Muslim Rohingyas murdered more than 100 Hindus and their families mercilessly, raped, pillaged, even buried some alive. Many among those Rohingya Muslims who committed that atrocity might right now be in India as refugees. But as I said, no Hindu ever came out to talk about Khamong Sheikh. All we do is get jealous of Indian Muslims uniting for Rohingya Muslims or Palestinian Muslims or Lebanese Muslims. Have Hindus marched in their thousands over the flight of Bangladeshi Hindus? Our government hasn't even made one proper rehabilitation camp. So if we are jealous of other person's unity, we are divided.
Absolutely. Look, you have a point there. You have definitely a point there. The response has been underwhelming to all these atrocities. Major Arya is there. Monojit Mondol is also there. Kamru Chaudhary wanted to come in. I'll just come back to you, Kamru Chaudhary, in just a few moments. But viewers, I just began by asking a very simple question. How is it that a person who says that Kashmir should not be a part of India, how is he getting these character certificates from Indian MPs? And Monojit Mondol, there is a TMC MP called Saket Gokhale. Saket Gokhale. I think I got his name right? Saket Gokhale is his name. He says that Nasrallah is not a terrorist. Sir, I have listed out his war crimes to you. Not even war crimes, actually his cowardly acts. I have listed his homophobic pogroms, his Islamophobic pogroms. There are people in Sicily and other countries that are actually, Syria and other countries that are actually taking out marches celebrating this man's killing because he's a terrorist in their eyes. And you have a TMC MP giving him a clean chit. How does this work? Can you explain, sir?
So I'll first respond to my good friend Dr. Ranganathan about Tagore's being misquoted. I want to know the citation from where he quoted Tagore. If he can give it to me personally as well, I'll be very happy because I think he's quoting absolutely out of context. That was not what Tagore said after the Bihar communal rights of 1916. Still, I wish this from my good friend Anand Ranganathan.
Give the citation.
Yeah, please
thank you. It's from thank you, Professor Mondal. Thank you for asking that. It is from Original Works of Rabindranath Tagore, Volume 24, page 375, Vishwabharati, 1982. Thank you very much.
Please give me the name of the essay. This essay was written in Bengali, my dear friend. This was written in Bengali after the Bihar communal riot, when he was castigating upon both the Hindus. He was castigating upon both the Hindus and the Muslims. Right? So please do not quote him out of context. He was castigating the communal riots. Why both the Muslims and the Hindus were responsible. I gave you the context. I gave you the context. But that's not the point.
Okay, he's giving you the citation. Now we have a problem with the context and the language. Okay, very quickly, Monojit Mondol, why is the MP of the TMC giving this person, who is a designated terrorist, a clean chit? I want to ask you, is this right?
I am not here.
I know you're not
defend
a
this
spokesperson of the TMC.
right.
I'm asking you, is he right to do so?
I think, let me tell you one
Can a
thing.
member of
As far
parliament
as
give someone like this man a clean
he
sheet?
has said so, this is his own personal opinion. Let me tell you very frankly here, the stated position of the party that I support at times is very simple. That the government of India, when it comes to the foreign policies, we are with the government of India. We know that there are so many things which are happening in Hamas or, Israel-occupied Palestine, which are not right. But both the countries are responsible for that. Absolutely responsible for that.
I'm only asking you, sir, do you think that these protests upholding this man as a martyr are justified, yes or no?
I do not think this should be justified.
Oh, good.
Why should this
That's
be
it
justified?
then. That settles the issue. Viewers, here is an... No, one second. An India bloc sympathizer...
My point is very simple.
Yes.
To link it to all the Indian Muslims being terrorists, like the way it is being...
No one is saying that, sir. We are only asking. And I am actually saying... No, now you're being mischievous. You're completely being mischievous. Viewers, what are we saying here? Okay, one second. Major Arya, let me call you in. Now, this is, this is gaslighting, viewers, and this is being done with the intention of putting Ranganathan, and I'll say it, underline it, neck on the chopping block. These people want to dog whistle so that someone will come up and say Sartan se juda, and they will poke him in the eye like they poked Salman Rushdie after 50 years. That's what they will do. Yes, doctor.
No, Rahul, I know it's coming my way. I am prepared for it, but that is the reason why I always quote Dr. Ambedkar. Because that makes them like rabbits.
No, but just look at this. Just look at this, Major Arya. I've asked a very simple question. How can for any community a homophobic, anti-Semite and also Islamophobe be a martyr, a hero? I don't get it.
No, two things, Rahul. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me on your show. There are 2-3 things that I'd like to say. Number one is that this is a mindset issue, and this is 1400 years old. This whole concept of Yahud al-Nasara and all that you can never be friends with the Jews. I would like to quote Sahih al-Bukhari. Sahih al-Bukhari, 29:26, Allah's messenger said, "The hour will not be established until you fight with the Jews, and the stone behind which the Jew will be hiding will say, 'O Muslim, there is a Jew hiding behind me, so kill him.'" This is the Sahih al-Bukhari. Now, there are other things. First of all, I would like to congratulate the entire panel that, this Hezbollah chief Nasrallah is dead. I'm also happy that Qasem Soleimani is dead. Ismail Hania is dead. And I hope the supreme leader of Iran catches it very fast. These people are terrorists. Now, there are 2 things. A lot of people in India, in other countries, right, even in Pakistan, even in Bangladesh, all of them, see, there is a fraud that these people are perpetrating. It's dangerous. They're doing it in India. Whether it's Kashmir or Lucknow, it's very dangerous for civil society. Having said that, let me also say, Rahul, that this is a complete fraud. These people will do a donkey and reach London. They'll reach Canada. None of them will ever reach Gaza. You see, they'll sit in their drawing rooms. They'll come out in the street. They'll protest. This is fraud on an epic scale. The third thing is, you see, you said that how can a person who says this about Kashmir, that Kashmir should be separated from India, and it should be, and why are politicians from Kashmir supporting Hassan Nasrallah when he said that? Why are they supporting his state? Because that is exactly what they believe. They believe that Kashmir should not be. These are separatists. They are closet terrorist supporters.
And they're sitting in our parliament.
Absolutely. And my last point, Rahul, is this, that you spoke about Mehbooba Mufti. Anybody who is served in the Kashmir Valley, Jammu or Kashmir region, or anybody who's from there will bear me out when I say this. Nobody knows where the PDP starts and finishes, where the Jamaat-e-Islami starts and finishes, and where the Hizbul Mujahideen starts and finishes. There is a commonality of cadre amongst 3, right? They are supporters. They are hardcore Pakistan supporters. They are radical Islamists. I'm not even saying condemn Burhan Wani. I'm not saying that. These people want Nizam-e-Mustafa. They have said it in the open. There is no point of debate. Now, Anand Ranganathan gave a factual counter, quoting exactly, chapter, verse, paragraph, page. But that is not enough, apparently.
No,
that is not enough. I think
I requested...
Give the book to him. Please courier a book to him. I think he'll be convinced after that, I think.
Well, it's in English. Then he'll say it's in English. It's not in Bengali. I don't read English. Monojit Mondal, I don't say that. He's going to send it to you. He'll courier it to you. Blue Dart will send it to you, sir. Okay, 1 minute.
I send him the original Bengali
Okay.
essay. Why Tagore? I tell you one thing. Tagore was castigating all the three, the Britishers,
Sir, no one
for
doubts
being
that.
silent
No one doubts that. Even Ambedkar,
and the Muslims.
even
I
Dr.
gave you the
Ambedkar.
Exact context
Even
of
Dr.
that public
Ambedkar. But that doesn't
lecture,
take away from the
public
fact.
lecture. This
Okay,
was after
but
the
if
Bihar
Dr.
communal
Ambedkar
rights of
was right.
1916. But
Okay.
he just quoted only Tagore castigating
No, it's
the
fine.
Muslim.
It's fine.
They're
It's
like
fine.
the
The point is, I'll tell you, sir, even Dr. Ambedkar had harsh words to say about Hindu caste system, etc., etc., and the
Yes.
upper caste. But
Yes.
if you can
Yes.
accept that, then we must also accept what he
Yes.
said about Muslims. We should be
There were
equally
problems.
open-minded.
There
We
were
can't say, no,
problems.
there he's right,
Of
here
course.
he's wrong.
No,
And
I'm
this
not
is
saying
hate
that.
and that
I'm
is...
not saying that.
Yeah, no, I'm glad.
There could be
I know you...
problems in a particular religion.
That's why I said,
There
being
can
a
be some
professor,
differences.
you understand
But you have to
nuance and you
respect the
understand
difference. We
context.
have to
But
respect the difference, not by excluding them, but
no,
by
fine.
teaching in the core
Very
value
quickly,
of
Dr.
nationalism.
Ranganathan and
That's it.
Kamru Chaudhary. Yes,
And my
Dr.
problem is
Ranganathan.
that you are bracketing all the Muslims in the same line.
No one is
You have
bracketing,
so
sir.
many-
I am
so
actually
many
asking a
greats-
rhetorical question.
greats
I said,
leading
how
this
can it be?
country,
Because...
including the last president
No,
of India.
don't start gaslighting.
No,
You
you
know,
can't do
you're
that.
being
That's
mischievous.
what
You're
my
being
good
mischievous,
friend was
Professor.
doing.
You're being mischievous. Okay, very quickly. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
No,
Yes,
there-
and Kamru Chaudhary. Yeah.
There is a reason why my good friend Professor Mondal and I really enjoy these debates, because he elevates you to accept a challenge and then rebut it. So let me ask him something and then gently ask him whether it is out of context or in context. What is the price or punishment for apostasy in Islam? It is death. And what is the punishment for apostasy in Hinduism? It is Bharat Ratna. Dr. Ambedkar said, I was born a Hindu, but I will not die a Hindu. He converted. And how did Indians, quote unquote, punish him? They rewarded him with India's greatest honor.
Yeah.
That is the difference, Professor Mandal. Now rebut it with context or out of context.
No, that's absolutely...
I think
Look, there's
we've
no...
been talking about what was
Okay,
happening
one
100
second.
years
Let me
ago.
bring in Kamru
Now
Chaudhary.
it's
Kamru
not
Chaudhary,
happening, my
Kamru
dear
Chaudhary,
friend.
make your
This
point.
country has moved on.
Okay. Everything has moved on except for caste politics in this country. That
Everything.
remains ossified. वो वापस ही आता रहता है.
basically-
Okay, very quickly. Kamru Chaudhary. Yes.
Yeah, basically, I took strong objection to Anandji's when he said that Indian Muslims owe their allegiance to their religion than to the motherland.
Yes.
That was the
That was
point
the
that I objected to him.
No, but he's not saying that. He's talking.
said
That's
that.
the quote. The allegiance of a Muslim does not rest on
But
his
he
domicile
forgets-
in the country
he
which is
forgets,
his, but
because
on the
the
faith
biggest
to which he
problem-
belongs.
coming
This
to
is
that,
Dr.
Rahul,
Ambedkar.
coming to that.
Yeah.
Coming
you
to
for
that, he
thinking that I am
confidently
Dr.
forgets
Ambedkar.
what Swami Vivekananda said about the
here he
Hindu
goes.
soul and the Muslim body.
He doesn't deny
Come on.
Sir,
Now come to the
all of that
basic
is
point of
fine.
debate
All of
tonight.
that is fine. But I am only saying that I hope that he is proven wrong, because I asked you a simple opening question. I still haven't got that response. We have talked about Dr. Ambedkar and the
Answer
context
lies
in
in
which
the
he was
political
speaking,
Islam.
Tagore and the context.
Answer lies
We've talked
in
about
political
the Holy
Islam.
Book. We have talked
the
about...
solution to the Palestinian problem.
I only
The
asked you,
political
do you
Islam.
think,
We
I'm
just-
again going to ask you, very quickly, because I have to move on. I have to ask you, just give me a yes or no answer, sir. Kamru Chaudhary, do you think this man deserves to be a martyr in any community?
The entire leaders I named, from Khamenei, Assad, Nasrallah, Fayyad, Al-Malik Houthi and Yahya Sinwar, do not deserve to be representative of the political Muslim world.
There you go.
That's a
Political
simple
Muslim
solution.
world, but spiritual Muslim world is fine. Okay.
No,
that's
I do
bizarre.
not be. I cannot be in.
You-
I cannot be influenced by leaders like this.
So viewers, finally at the end of the debate, at the nth moment, Kamru Chaudhary says it's wrong to elevate this man as a martyr. Therefore, Major Arya has given you the reason why he is being elevated as a martyr. So viewers, QED, now we realize that a massive fraud is being played on innocent Indian Muslims watching all these pictures and the rhetoric. Don't fall for it, friends. Don't fall for it. We are not like that. None of us. None of us are like that. No Indian can ever hold up this man as a martyr. And those who are doing so, viewers, are clearly, in Dr. Ambedkar's word, putting something above their patriotism.